time. Anyway, who are we going to drive as? Well, as a tribute. Oh God, why do I do this every single time? Anyway, who? Well, hello there, everybody. From me and Mr. TB the Bear. TB the Bear. There he is. On New Year's Eve. Everyone's favourite bear. I don't know if anyone's going to turn up because this stream is completely impromptu. I've just decided to do it very, very quickly. So if no one turns up, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a very quick stream anyway. I'm going to be in and out as quick as possible. That's what she said. So that's it. Thanks everyone for this year on my channel. It's been a great year once again. I'm very happy about my video that I put up for the Christmas video. That's done very, very well in the old view department. So well done to everyone that's watched that. Thank you very much. And I'd just like to wish you a very merry new year. Yes, a very merry New Year from me and Mr. TB the Bear. TB the Bear. Yes, there he is. Everyone's favourite bear. Yes. Now get back down there where you belong. So as I say, in case anyone doesn't turn up because no one's here yet, and don't expect anyone to turn up because this is a very impromptu stream. I'll just once again say a very happy new year to everybody. Yes, next year of course we've got Formula 1 back with the new 2026 cars, new regulations, everything, new clean slate. Everything's going to feel fresh and new next year. And personally, I can't wait. Well, till about round 4, and then we'll all be bored to tears of it again and going, oh God, F1's back. But anyway, until then, I'm looking very, very excited towards it. I'm just going to hang around for a couple of minutes just to see if anyone at all turns up, but I expect they're all off on their parties now singing Auld Lang Syne and what have you. So we'll hang around for a couple more minutes and then we'll call it a day. Yes. Yes. Da, 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 da. I feel like I should be playing some elevator music right now. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ah dear. The story of the Hookster's life. Broadcasting live and no one's watching him. No one's watching him and no one cares. Anyway, if anyone saw my post earlier, yeah, I'll say it's a very sad day today because MTV is closing at midnight tonight. MTV will be no more. I was there right there at the start. The very first video, which was Buggles. Video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star. That one. And I was there. And I can remember watching this. It wasn't a blank screen, but it was like a screen saying, you know, kind of please stand by, we'll be starting in about 15 minutes time. And the excitement was just absolutely incredible. You had to have been there. It was really exciting because back then I was heavily into music anyway, and the fact that you could get music videos playing constantly on your TV was a novelty, an absolute novelty. Sadly now it's pretty much dead. Completely dead. As I say, nobody cares about music anymore. The funny thing about that is, if you look at some of the disaster movies we've had, like the the ones where there's been nuclear wars and what have you, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember two people talking to each other and they said, just imagine now we're never going to hear a new piece of music. And it's already happened without a nuclear war because, yeah, there is new music out there, but as I say, no one cares. No one cares about music anymore. Music as a medium has pretty much died. I have to say, it's pretty much died. Once we got past the 80s and into the 90s, the writing was on the wall for music. I have to say, the writing was on the wall, and now it really is. I think it's possibly at its lowest level that it's ever been. I've heard rumours that they're actually going to get rid of the top 40 countdown as well because no one's listening to it. So that's been going for 70 years apparently, 70 years. But they're going to get rid of that soon. So yeah, it's all very sad. It's like the end of an era coming to an end, and now we've got a new era starting, which I'm really not fussed about, to be honest. But there you go, MTV. Thanks for all the memories and thanks for all the great music that you've had over the years. It's just sad now that no one is going to come up with really creative videos like they did back then because no one's going to be bothered because they know no one's going to be watching them. So those days are sadly over. I remember a lot of the videos they use. I've actually showcased one on my in my post feed where it was Genesis when they're using the spitting image puppets. There was quite a few videos back then where they used the spitting image puppets, I have to say, because it was a very popular show back then, of course. Things like that, and Peter Gabriel with Sledgehammer. I mean, the creativity in that video was just, it's never been topped. I have to say, it's never been topped. It was just, there was so many things going on in that video. Stop motion, all that stuff. Real artistic, stuff. Not like just, let's just zap it into a PC now and we'll get the CGI to squirt its innards out of it. None of that. It was actually, people made that stuff with plasticine models, and they used to move the arm. Remember Morph? Yeah, used to move the arm like literally a millimetre each time, and then take a photo. Move it another millimetre, take a photo. And that used to take hours and hours. I say nowadays, just put it in the PC. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, CGI. We'll get the AI to do it now, in fact, because the AI can just do anything now, can't they? We got dancing Star Trek now. We've got dancing Klingons. Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I feel like I'm turning into a rant on this New Year video, but that wasn't my intention. But yeah, I'm just getting these things off my chest. So yeah, the creativity of the past is now sadly lost, and we're never going to get that back. Unfortunately, we're never going to get that back. So yeah, we just got to move on. But as I say, I'm going to be sad that we're not going to have videos like that being made anymore, and we're going to have to put up in the future, the next 10 years, next 20 years, is going to be, we know it's going to be completely AI driven. I'm waiting for the first film to come out that's going to be completely driven by AI, because that's going to happen, I think, within the next 5 years. A completely AI-generated film. Sad days indeed. Yes. But anyway, enough of my bullshit. As I say, I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks once again for all the support on the channel. You've been epic once again. I have to admit, without you, I would have been flagging this year. I was flagging towards the end of this year with the Formula One, I have to admit, but I feel okay now. I've kind of got a little bit of my energy back, so I'm doing good, but I was starting to flag towards the end. So yeah, thanks to you guys for keeping me grounded there and keeping me motivated to carry on until the end. So there we have a viewer. Hello, Mr. DJM9937, and a happy new year to you, sir. Happy new year to you. You are one of those people that has kept me going through the year, so thanks for that. And you get a special treat now, yes, because it's New Year. Here he is, just for you. It's GB the bear. Look at everyone's favourite bear. Yes. Everyone loves me, loves him. They can't stand me, but they love him. Yes, they do. Yes. TB. Now, what do you wish for New Year, TB? Lewis Hamilton, world champion. Okay, let's just move on swiftly from that one, shall we? You never know. It could happen. It could happen. TB, that's why we watch. Yes, that's why we watch. Don't sit there and watch a bloody old man with no hair on his head talking, do you? You just come here for the bear. You just come here for the bear. I know what it's all about. I know my place. I know my place in society. And yes, I'm just the straight man for the bear. That's what I am. Yes. No gonna happen to. I know. We won't say that out loud though, shall we? I mean, it could do. It could do. Next year could be great for Lulu. Could be great for Lulu. I'll tell you what. I'm starting to have dreams, or maybe they're nightmares. I don't know. But I'm starting to have dreams, and I keep dreaming of Lewis crossing that finish line, and the checkered flag's waving, and there's no one behind him, and I'm thinking, oh my god, is he actually going to win a race next year? So there you go. There's my early prediction for next year. If my dreams are correct, and they always are, not, then I think Lewis Hamilton may win a race next year. Now, of course, it may be a fluky race. Maybe half the field gets taken out or whatever, and there's lots of crashes. I don't know, but I just keep dreaming that Lulu's going to win a race next year. Now it could be a sprint as well. We've got to include that because my dreams are not specific. But yes, I think he might win a race next year. So let's see if that comes true. It won't. One win from Lewis and an immediate retirement unless he thinks he can do it. Yes. I think that would be a fitting end. I just hope that when the season starts next year in March, we get to about the fourth round, and if Lewis Hamilton's performance is the same as it's been this year, I'm saying this year because there's only like 3 hours left of it. If his performance level is the same next year as it is this year, the honourable thing for Lewis to do would be about round 4 of the championship is to say, this is my last year and I'm hanging it up. I would love to see him say that, because it means that no matter what happens during next year, the pain or whatever, everyone will still, I think everyone will come out and really, even people that don't support me anymore, I think they will come out and cheer him on, knowing that, this is his last year, and they won't care about the results. They really won't. I just don't want a year next year where Lewis is finishing 12th and 15th position and he's still coming out with, oh, it's all right, we're going to improve, we're going to get better, I'll be back next year. I'd much rather, with some dignity, he says after about 4 rounds in, okay guys, it's been a great journey and I decided that this is going to be my last year. Because I'll tell you, I would come out fully and support Lewis if he said that for the rest of the year next year, if that was the case. Because everyone would much prefer that to happen than to have him, finishing 12th and 15th positions at every race next year, and him constantly. I mean, some of those interviews was just. I started to get really, emotional because I could see how down he was. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. You really don't. I mean, I've said before, I was an avid supporter of Lewis back in the day. Back in the McLaren days, and even when he went to Mercedes, I had to be. I was still a supporter then. The only thing that sort of drifted me off was around about the 2010 days. And pretty much when he started that relationship with Nicole as well. Nicole! Do you remember that? Yeah, the Renault 5 adverts. Nicole! But when he started that relationship with Nicole, and some of the things he started to say didn't quite sit well with me, And then later on in time, he started doing all this saving the planet business, which didn't sit right with me as well, considering that one of his major sponsors is Petronas, which is the third biggest, I think, oil producing company in the world. Yes. And then, the flip side of that is he's saying, oh no, lads and lasses, we must save the planet. We must save the planet. Yes, that's what we must do. That didn't sit well with me. So, yeah. But apart from that, I've always been a fan and I always will be. So, yeah. Let's hope that's what happens next year. Should have quit after his last win at Silverstone. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Champ 92. Welcome to the stream. This is a very, very quick stream. In fact, I'm going to disappear in a few minutes. I was just waiting for a couple of people to come in. I'll say it's a very quick Happy New Year stream, and a Happy New Year to you, mate, as well. As always, to every single one out there, keep racing for life and have a happy 2026. Yes, I pass on those sentiments entirely. Yes. Happy New Year to everyone. Yes. It's been quite a bad sort of end to the year for me. I haven't sort of spoken about this publicly, or should I say on the YouTubes, because it was just something that I was trying to sort of keep to myself. But yeah, from sort of October onwards, it's been a little bit tough, because my mother was unfortunately unwell, and she had to go to hospital. She spent most of October in hospital, in fact, and a little bit of November as well. And while she was in there, they gave her a dementia test, and the test was, it starts at 1 and goes to 31, and she scored 2 out of 31, and then she had a brain scan, and the scan came back and revealed that she has, in fact, three kinds of dementia. Not just one, no, she's got three kinds of dementia. And so, yeah, that's been a little bit tough. Anyway, they sent her home in November with a care package, and literally a few weeks later, the people who were looking after her said that they couldn't do it anymore because it was costing too much money, and so it all had to go to a panel. Yeah, it's all this technical stuff has to go through a panel, and then eventually it's been it's been since October. Hasn't been that long really, but eventually they did decide that she needs 24-hour care, and so last week, was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I know Christmas. You just sort of forget the time, don't you? 2 weeks ago, she was admitted into a nursing care home, so she is now in care. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle since October, but we're okay. We're doing okay. Yes, we're doing okay. Unfortunately, in life, when you reach a certain age, your family, when they're at their certain age, which is 70s and 80s, things do happen, and unfortunately this has happened. The other unfortunate thing is that unfortunately the dementia has given her brain damage, and so she is completely bedbound, so she's never going to get out of bed again, and she's also been given 2 to 4 years maximum lifespan, depending on what happens. So yeah, there you go. That's been the last few months. You've probably had noticed that the uploads and what have you haven't been quite as constant as they have been before, because just been having that going on behind the scenes. But anyway, she's in a nursing home. I went and saw her on Christmas Day. She's fine. She's got the eating in the home is on 24.5C. I was so jealous. I literally can't get mine above 18C yet where I am right now, but she was on 24.5C. Yeah, so I thought to myself, I think I'll move in here because it's bloody warmer. So anyway, I went and saw her on Christmas Day. Couldn't stay for too long because they have only got a skeleton staff on that Christmas Day, which is fair enough. But yeah, she's happy as Larry, and she's getting the 24-hour care that she requires. So there you go. It was not an easy year for me either, says Champ 92, but it will be easy. Anyone would take part in life, I guess. Yes, quite true. But I secured my new job for 2026. Yeah, congratulations on that, mate. I hope it's going to go well for you. I'm sorry to hear, Dave, mate. No worries, mate. I'll say I didn't want to do what a lot of YouTubers do. I don't know whether you see it where they go, oh, I've got such and such, or something's happened to and I just feel that sometimes that's sort of engagement for views, if you know what I mean. So I haven't said anything. I've only literally just said it because it's on this stream, because it's it's the last day of the year, and I thought I'd just get it off me chest and and say that. So yeah, but it's certainly not I certainly wouldn't have made a separate video about it. It's just basically because I'm nattering on the live stream, and I just thought I'd tell all you guys what's been happening in the last few months. And then of course to top it off, I think around about the 5th of October, something like that. Anyway, I woke up and I was deaf in my right ear. I thought, oh, that's not very good. But anyway, I struggled through it. It was quite a pain to make videos because I couldn't actually hear myself very well. So yeah, so I'm deaf in one ear, and so I thought, well, it'll get better. So I left it right up until November, and unfortunately it wasn't getting any better. And so I eventually went to the doctors, and he said, he said, well, there's quite a lot of wax in there, so you have to get that sorted out because I can't actually see the eardrum. So I went out and got the ears cleaned professionally, but unfortunately they are better. The right ear is better, but it's still not 100%. It's popping like crazy all the time, which I don't know if any of you guys have had that happen, but it's very annoying when your ears are constantly or the right ear is constantly popping, and there is still some deafness in that ear. So next year it looks like I'm going to have to return to the doctors. I just didn't bother before Christmas because I knew I'd never get an appointment anyway, because nobody can get doctor's appointments these days. So after Christmas, I shall have to return and see exactly what's going on with the right ear. So yeah, I've been half deaf and having a few problems behind the scenes as well. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Well, I'm still here and cracking on. Stay and be strong, Dave. Hope she can keep fighting. Thanks, mate. Yeah, she's doing all right. The most thing I was worried about was that the care people obviously only come in during the daytime, and so she was being left for like 14 hours every single night because I think they come in at 8 in the morning, and then their last visit I think is 7 o'clock in the evening, something like that. It's 4 times over the day, so she was being left for 14 hours a day, which I was, that was my main concern, because she needs 24-hour care. Unfortunately, with the 3 kinds of dementia, she doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know what's going on. It happened very, very quickly, because only 4 weeks before this happened, she was still going around her local shop and getting groceries and supplies. So it did. I mean, she has been. We've noticed the family's noticed over the past couple of years that she has been declining mentally, but it's been very, very slow, very, very slow. We just noticed a few things and it was going very, very slow. But something must have happened in October. We don't know. We don't know whether she had a stroke or something. I don't know, but something definitely happened in October, because she went from a very slow downhill and then she just basically dropped off the thing. I mean, what happened was she wasn't answering her phone, so I went up there because I only live a couple of miles away. So I got a taxi and got up there, and I found her. She was lying on the floor, and she was completely she was delirious. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't know where she was. She kept saying that, oh, can you hear the rain? And there was no rain because the sun was shining, So she was convinced that it was raining. Anyway, when she got to hospital, she had a massive urinary tract infection. So that was probably causing the delusions. So yeah, I mean, we went to see her. We check on her like every 2 or 3 days. So this has happened literally in like a 2 or 3 day interval between when we check her, that all this happened. So I don't know. I mean, I found her on the floor. I don't know how long she'd been there, to be honest. But the way she was positioned, she was like in a hallway. There was no way I could pick her up because I've got a bad spine. So, we had to call for an ambulance. The ambulance came out. The ambulance crew couldn't pick her up either because of the position that she was in. It was so an awkward position, they couldn't pick her up. So they had to call for another ambulance crew. So we had 2 ambulance crews to come round to pick my mother up. Absolutely crazy. It really was. Absolutely crazy. Now, my mother's not a skinny woman. She's not like, 25 stone or whatever. She's not that big, but she's not little. She's, I would say, in like the 17, 18 stone category. But yeah, it took 2 ambulance crews to get her off the floor and onto a stretcher because, as I say, it was just the position she was lying in. And she was in a very narrow corridor like that, very narrow. It was our own hallway, which is very narrow. And so trying to position her up, and it took them a good 45 minutes just to get her off the floor. That was 2 ambulance crews. 2 ambulance crews took 45 minutes to get off the floor. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. But anyway, she went off to hospital and she was in there for 6 weeks. And as I say, and then they sent her home, and that was it basically. To anyone else out there with your family and loved ones in these difficult, challenging times, yes, indeed, I pass on that sentiment entirely. That shit, Dave, it really is. We had all this with the mother-in-law, yeah. As I say, mate, once, unfortunately, people like us, when you know, I mean, it's not just people like us, it happens to young people as well, unfortunately, but mostly it's sort of expected that people like us at our age, that, you know, our older relatives are going to, you know, start to be having problems. And yeah, it's just the circle of life, as was it Simba said in The Lion King, the circle of life. And that is the circle of life, unfortunately, but that's what happens. you live, you have your life, and then you drop off. You know, it's going to happen to everybody, but too many people sort of focus on the end bit, you know, when they should be focusing on the middle bit, and that's you know, you're living. That's the bit you should focus on entirely. Don't worry about the end bit, because as far as I'm concerned, by the time you get to that end bit, you're probably at a stage of your life when you've said, you know what, I've done everything I wanted to do, and I'm fine with that. And you know, you're probably at a stage where you're ready to go. You're ready to go. You've done everything that I mean me. I've got so many things I would like to do. It's unbelievable. I know I'm never going to get time to do them, but I've got so many things I'd love to do. But yeah, so yeah, don't worry about the end bit. Concentrate on the most important bit. Which, look, let's see if I can get this right, because the camera runs in reverse. Look, see, there's your start of your life, and there's the end of your life. Concentrate on that bit in the middle. That's all you need to do. Concentrate on that bit, because that's the most important bit. The middle bit. Concentrate on that. Don't even worry about that bit. And of course, you've gone past that bit because you were alive then. So yeah, concentrate on that bit. That's the most important bit you need to concentrate on. Living. That's what I say. Anyway. The father of my mum died because of dementia, sadly. Yeah, dementia is a very sad disease. I mean, it's up there with cancer as well. I mean, you know, they both in their own ways kill you very, very cruelly. Cancer is usually, you know, you die a horrible death in agony. That's, you know, there's no two ways about it. That's what cancer does. But dementia also, I mean, it robs you of your cognitive ability. And for most people, I would say, you know, 99% of the population, in fact, cognitive ability is everything. You know, it defines who you are, and yet dementia just takes that away from you. And you know, that's the cruelest part of all. Really is the cruelest part of all. So not good. Good to hear that she's taken care of and she's safe. Absolutely, she's completely safe. She's the care home. They've it's not a large place, but they've got 39 patients in there, so they look after 39 patients. And there's like 50 staff, which I was very surprised about. So for 39 patients, there's 50 staff. But most importantly than that, they have, because it's a nursing home, it's not a care home, because unfortunately my mother's far too gone just to go into, you know, like a standard care home where you come out every day and go and sit in the chairs and watch the TV. My mother's far too gone for that. She's, you know, the care home's got that. It's got the, you know, the communal areas, but she's never going to use it because, as I say, she can't get out of bed. So she's going to be stuck in the bed and until she dies. But it has got those facilities. But instead of being like a standard care home, this is a nursing home. So there are nurses on staff as well, 24/7. So, you know, if anything goes wrong medically, then there are nurses there. It's basically just an extension of a hospital. Basically, it's, you know, it's a very long stay hospital. That's what it is, really. So yeah. So if anything goes wrong, there are nurses on call, and of course, you know, if it gets really serious, they'll be able to contact doctors and whatever, because obviously, you know, being nurses, they'll have contact details for doctors and stuff, so they'll come out and have a look. So yeah, she is being cared for brilliantly, which is all I was worried about. Sitting at home for 14 hours with you know, nobody looking after her was a ridiculous situation. It really was. I mean, me and my sister, we were trying to get her to go into a care home. We said this would be the best thing for her, but unfortunately, our local council said no. They ruled against us and said no, we'll send her home with a care package. It's all very, very complicated in the UK about care. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a minefield. But they thought she would be fine with the care package, but as I say, she only lasted 3 or 4 weeks, and in the care company themselves were saying we can't do it anymore. It's costing us too much money, and don't forget they're getting paid to do that job, and yet she was obviously costing them more than what they were making. So they said no, we can't do it anymore. So that's why it went to a panel, and they decided to put her into 24-hour nursing care. Dave, privacy is totally normal. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, it's just that I see a lot of you know, people on YouTube. I mean, I don't want to start putting people down who put that on there, but I just feel that in certain situations, I mean, let's just use one situation. Cancer, you know, I see people making videos about cancer. I'm not. It's a very sticky debate, but I don't see the point or the logic of making a YouTube video and saying I've got cancer. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. No, don't get it. But anyway, each to their own, as I say. At times, life is really not nice, but nothing in life is fair. You have to earn anything from nothing comes nothing. But after all, health comes first, and in days of these, mental health is anything. Yes, I quite agree. Hello, Mr. Plynal Plessy. Welcome to the stream. Yes, MTV finished today. Very, very sad. The last song was a song they started with when it originally launched in America. Video killed the radio star. Yes. Happy New Year. Hello, Mr. Rugar. Welcome. Happy New Year. Top of the Pops is back in 2 days. It's the start of 1999. Also a 1978 show and 1989. 1989 was Kim Wilde and Kylie and Jason Donovan. Kylie and Jason. Ah, yes. Who can forget Kylie and Jason? They were actually at some point, weren't they? Were they or weren't they? I can't. Were they? Were they? I'm sure they were. I can't remember. Or was it all just an act? Was it all a show? I can't remember. And at 9 p.m. they've got 2 shows from 1976 haven't been repeated. No Punk, of course, no. It's sad. I visit a couple every week that I worked with them when I left school 40 years ago. They were totally devoted to each other, both in their 90s now. Husband has dementia and the wife now hates him. That's also another problem, of course, when the husband, you know, and then the wife is sort of, you know, especially if the wife is looking after him, you know, it's, you know, resentment unfortunately does come into the equation. It's just one of those things. The wife can't cope with him but won't allow him to go into it. Yeah. It's one of those things, unfortunately. You feel obligated because you love that person and you've spent so many years with them. You feel obligated to look after them. It's the same. I've seen videos on YouTube. There's a kid on there. I think he's only like 15 years old, and he fell off a balcony or whatever and broke his spine, and now he's completely dependent on his mum. And you know, this kid was only 15 years old. The mum's only like, you know, in her 30s, and she's now going to spend the rest of her life looking after her son. You know, and it's a tough old job. It's a tough old job. For anyone who's out there who's a carer, it's a tough old job. It really is. Really is. Tough old job. On BBC this morning, they had Ray Cokes on, who used to do MTV's Most Wanted for MTV Europe. He said that the decline started in the 90s when they had local versions of MTV. Yeah. Well, everything declined in the 90s. Let's be honest. The music, as soon as the clock hit 1990, really, the music just started going downhill, didn't it? From there, and it's never recovered. And I said at the start of the stream, music now, nobody cares, do they? Nobody cares about music anymore. You know, I mean, back in my day, music was king. The radio was the internet, yes, and everyone on it were like, you know, gods. We worshipped them like gods. We really did. And unfortunately, it's been revealed that a lot of them weren't deserving of our worship. Let's just put it that way. Yes. Pretty much 95% of the people who work for the BBC, but there you go. So, but yeah, we just worship them like gods. But you're never going to get those days again, because internet's just now, it's destroyed radio, it's destroyed everything, isn't it? I mean, it's destroying the movie industry. AI's destroying everything now. Everything's just going to come along and destroy everything, and we'll end up with nothing in the end. Absolutely nothing. But there you go. That's progress, everyone. That's progress. I also don't see the point of doing videos about stuff what should be our business, like heavy stuff. We do have such kind of people which make money and profit of serious topics. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you there as well. Yep. Absolutely. He then said that the thing that made MTV successful was that it was once one huge club across Europe where people from all different cultures could watch something at the same time as other people. I agree. In other countries, when they started dividing and launched MTV channels in their own languages, and after that they realised they were no longer part of that club. Top of the Pops declined in the 90s. I'd say 1991 was when the Radio 1 DJs left for a while, yes. But in 1996, they put the show on Fridays opposite Coronation Street, and that's what really killed it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But they did that on purpose, because they wanted to kill it. They wanted to kill Top of the Pops, so that's why they put it in competition. That's been the case of TV shows forever. That's how... I'm going to get on my high horse now, because everyone knows I'm a die-hard Star Trek fan. That's how they killed Star Trek, the original series, you know. Yes, they did 2 seasons, then they cancelled it. Everybody complained. Yes, everybody complained. I'm talking serious letters of complaint. So they said, okay, we'll bring it back for one more series. But what did they do to kill it? Number one, they halved the budget of the show. So 50% less of the budget. Now, as you will know, even if you're not a fan or you don't even like Star Trek, that's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. But, you know, you probably know that Star Trek 99% of the time is set in space. Now, to do that to a TV show, you know, you've got to have sets. You've got to have planets. You've got to be, you've got to be in space. So to cut 50% of the budget is bad enough, because, and a lot of those third season shows were basically filmed on the back lot of Paramount to make them look like planets, because there's a very rocky outcrop on the back lot of the Paramount Studios, and they filmed a lot of the episodes there because the budget had been cut. But that was only the one thing that they did. The second thing they did to Star Trek was they put it in the Friday evening, what they call the graveyard slot, the Friday evening graveyard slot, in an attempt to make sure that it was killed and would never come back, because then they wouldn't have people complaining that they want it back. There was people complaining that, oh, this was rubbish, we don't want to see any more of this. That was the intention, and they won. Star Trek was cancelled after the third season because it was put on, I think it was Friday at 9 o'clock, I think that's when they put it on. Now, let's just rewind. This was 1960. When was the last season? 1968, I think. 69, the last season. Okay? So this was the 60s. If anyone remembers the 60s, everyone that was anyone went out on a Friday night. That was what you did in the 60s. You went out on a Friday night. So the TV company knew that if they put a TV show on a Friday, no one was going to watch it. And that has been passed down through the generations. If any sort of TV show, even today, although you've got streaming now, so it doesn't really apply, to be honest. But when they had like network shows, if they the ratings started to decline, started to do badly. Oh, look, let's put it in on a Friday evening slot. And then that killed it. So, yeah, very, very annoying. You're right, Dave. Music used to be the thing back in the day. Sure, the 90s have been decent, but it started to decline there. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't listened to music, like, or tried to search out modern music, I think probably for about the last 10 years, to be fair. Because I just know there's no point, because it's going to be rubbish. Obviously, people are still making music. You know, that hasn't stopped. People are still making music, but it just hasn't got the popularity that it had back in the, well, let's be fair, the 50s is really when music started to take off after the, you know, the post-war era. The 50s is where the music started to take off, to be honest, and then it exploded into the 60s with the Beatles, which absolutely dominated. And then you had the 70s was sort of a just like the decade, really, the 70s. They were sort of an era of calmness. There was good stuff in the 70s, but I wouldn't say, you know, brilliant stuff. And then, of course, the 80s came along, and it was just like a explosion. Everybody who regards music now talks about the 80s. That's the only decade that basically anyone ever talks about is the 80s. Yeah, it just exploded out of nowhere. There was all these new directions they were going in. It was ridiculous. But me personally, I loved it because I was only like 15, 16 years old in the 80s. And so all this stuff was just brilliant, because that's a time when you're listening to music, you know, when you're sort of in your teenage years. That's when you listen to music. And this stuff was just incredible to me. Absolutely incredible. Adam and the Ants. Oh my God. Duran Duran. Just absolutely brilliant stuff. And then, you know, the 90s came along, and a lot of the people from the 80s started to fade into the background. You had a few that hung on for dear life, like Phil Collins. God bless you, Phil. God bless you, Phil. I know he's not doing very well these days, health-wise, which is a great shame, I have to say, because I did love Phil Collins. Yeah, he made a lot of cheesy records. I know that. He made a lot of cheesy records, but I just loved them. I mean, one of my favourite movies is Buster, and it's just got Phil Collins playing all the way through that movie, basically. There's like 5 or 6 songs of his going through that movie. It's just great. Really, really great. But yeah, they seemed to fade off as soon as the 90s came along. And then, of course, you had the explosion of the boy bands. And then, of course, you had the S Club 7s and all that malarkey. And that started to destroy music, I would say. And, of course, then you had Simon Cowell came along, and you had all the singing shows. Everyone remembers all those back in the day. Pop Idol. There was loads of them. I can't remember Pop Idol off the top of my head, but there was loads of them coming out, and that all helped to completely destroy music and to leave it in the state that it's in today, which is it's in a very bad state. It is. It's in a very bad state. So I haven't even looked for any new music, but I don't even have to, because I know it's going to be in a bad state, because it just hasn't got the popularity that it had back in the day. On MTV 90s, the last song was Goodbye by Spice Girls. Yes, and of course the Spice Girls also responsible for the decline of music. No, I love their songs. They're, you know, they're great songs to listen to, but they're also responsible for the decline of music because just the way they are, basically. On MTV 80s, it was Together in Electric Dreams by Phil Oakley and Giorgio Moroder. Oh, I love that song. That was one of my favourite. Together in Electric Dreams. Dear, 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 dear. Didn't they use that to the soundtrack of a film? Was it a film? I seem to remember it was a film. They used it as a soundtrack, didn't they? I think they used it for a couple of films, didn't they? Electric Dreams? Sure they did. Sure they did. No doubt you'll tell me. When Top of the Pops was moved to Fridays, it was supposed to be temporary because of Euro 96 Olympics, but soon they decided to make it permanent. Yes. Also, watching it in 1998, the music in the charts was full of bland pop and awful cover versions. Yes. Ooh, says DJM99. Top of the Pops used to watch that every Thursday night right through to the mid-80s. Marilyn came in. Dad said, right, that's it, no more. Marilyn. Oh my God, I remember that. He only made a couple, didn't he? Marilyn. Yes, this was the decline of music, I think. Marilyn. What was that song he did? I use he in the loosest possible words. I can't even remember. Was that just his name, Marilyn? I can't even remember now. It was just Marilyn. Yes, here you go, everyone. This was another responsible person of the decline of music. Marilyn, Calling Your Name, 1983. Oh my God, yes. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised your dad said that's it. We're done. We're done. I wonder if YouTube will let me play 10 seconds of Marilyn. Once we get past the advert. Oh, these adverts on YouTube are getting out of hand, aren't they? Getting out of hand. Oh, we got skip. My bad. Let's see if I can do 10 seconds of this without getting copyright matched. Here we go. That's it. That's enough. Marilyn. Oh my God. That's definitely enough of that. That's definitely enough of that. This is Dave's idea of a very quick stream, by the way. I know. I've got to go in a minute because I'm playing Monopoly in a couple of hours. Yes, I'm playing Monopoly in a couple of hours, so I've definitely got to go in a minute. Yes, because I haven't had my dinner yet. But yes, I'm playing Monopoly for New Year. I might stream it. It just depends because one of the people on there is who I'm playing with. Is not very happy about being on stream. So if he turns up tonight, I won't be able to stream it. But if he doesn't, I might stream Monopoly tonight, just for content and to bore everyone to death. Because our Monopolies usually last about 3 hours. It's the online Monopoly, by the way. Yeah, usually lasts about 3 hours. So if he doesn't turn up, I will stream it. But if he does, well, unless he says it's all right, I don't know. We'll see. But he's a little bit nervous about being on stream. It's a long story. It's a long story. I think you meant Madonna. Top of the Pop started in the 60s, and that was full of rock and roll. In the 70s, it was a lot of rubbish in the charts. The Wurzels, the Smurf. Oh, yes. I got a new combine harvester, and I'll give it to you. No, not that Madonna. Marilyn, Boy George's mate. Yeah, that's it. Ah. My mum likes Phil Collins. Well done, Champ 92. Well done to your mum. I love Phil Collins. I really do. I liked him in Genesis. I think I preferred him actually in Genesis more than when he went solo, to be honest. But he was great. But I still like Phil Collins. And yes, I know a lot of his songs are very, very cheesy. I understand, but I just like him. There you go. If you hit play on the In the Air Tonight by Phil... I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Chew! If you hit play on the In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins at 11:56 and 20 p.m. this New Year's Eve, the drum fill will welcome you into 2026. That's what I wanted. Wow, I didn't know that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that, but tell me if it worked. Leave me a message somewhere and tell me if that worked, because, yeah, that sounds brilliant. Late 70s to early 80s was fab. Yes, I agree. In 1979, Top of the Pops was at its best. There's a huge variety of genres in the charts. You had punk, disco, new wave, reggae. Yes, absolutely. 79 was a very strange year. It was like a temporal junction point for the rest of the universe. It really was. So much came out in 79. If you look at movies as well, just go back and look at a full list of movies that came out in 1979. You'll be amazed. Science fiction just went through the roof in 1979. Unbelievable amount of science fiction movies came out in 79. A lot. The 80s was great, but unfortunately it ended on a terrible note, and it was because of a certain jive button. Yes. You just turn the stream off now. I don't blame you. Stock, Aitken and Waterman killed the... Yes, I agree. 10 minutes into the year and a guy's already getting arrested where I live. Wowzers. Where do you live, Mr. Rugar? Is it Afghanistan? Then in the early 90s, it was full of dance and power ballads. Then 1993 to 1994 came Blur, Oasis, etc. were on their way, along with boy bands like Take That and Boyzone. Yes, it was part of a film that was called Electric... Oh, yes, that's right, it was. In 1996-98, we had the Spice Girls, All Saints and other pop groups like Steps 5 and 911. Yes, Steps. Damn. And then when the 2000s came, Pop Idol arrived, and that's what killed the charts. Yes. Good to see Paddock 99 is still cheating before we even start. Bless you. Perfect. Oh, thank you, sir, Mr. Rugar. Thank you very much for the £2. Very, very kind of you. Yes, Happy New Year to everyone else as well. I'm going to put a little like for you there. There you go. Thank you very much. Anyway, I said it's going to be a quick stream, and it's got to be a quick stream because, as I say, I've got to play Monopoly in like 2 hours, less than 2 hours time, and I haven't had my dinner yet, so I have really got to go. I just wanted to come on very, very quickly and wish everyone a Happy New Year to you all. Bless you. Is he in the chat, is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, for God's sake, I've got to read all these messages now. Hang on. I'm here. The only one anyone cares about. Can't wait for another year of McLaren bottles. I'm already in the lead. Can we do a quiz? Get ChatGTP to create difficult F1 quiz. People still care about music. It's pretty much went on its own subgenres thanks to streaming. Someone tell David he should change his settings to all the comments. Why did they want Star Trek cancelled? The TV company wanted it cancelled because it cost a lot of money to make. Because as I say, it's set in space. You've got to build all those space sets, so it cost quite a lot. So they wanted to get rid of it. There was nothing wrong with it. It had good ratings in the second series. It wasn't top rated, but it had good ratings, so there was no reason to get rid of it. But just for pure monetary reasons, they said no, we're going to get rid of it. So they cancelled it after the second season. They said no more, and then people got up a petition. Yes, back in the day, this was the 60s. Got up a petition. In fact, someone went to the head of the studio and got into his car and filled up his car with I don't know what you'd call it back in the 60s, but what we call it now is like peanuts. You know the styrofoam packing you get inside boxes of stuff. They filled his car up right to the roof with this peanuts. Yeah, so he went to go home, opened the door, and all these peanuts fell out of his car. Just in protest that Star Trek had been cancelled. That was actually the crux of it, because he was an executive at the company, and he said, right, that's it, just bring the bloody thing back. But then he had the idea of how to kill it properly, as I say, slash the budget in half and put it on the Friday slot, and it killed it. So that's basically the story of Star Trek, the very first Star Trek, that is. I've changed the damn settings. Change the settings. At least Sparks, Happy New Year, all the best, and all the best to you viewers, of course. Okay, yeah, as I say, I've literally got to go. I've got a quick message here. I'll just see what that says before I disappear. Oh, we've got some tracks for you before I go. Right, I've really got to be quick here. If I end up late for Monopoly, I'm going to be in big trouble. Big trouble. Let's make that big a minute. So no, unfortunately, I can't do a quiz because I haven't got time. But don't worry, I will be back. There will be some more specials before the F1 starts again. I'm not going to, go all the way through until March and not come back and live stream, because it's important that I stream a couple of times to make sure that everything's still working. I don't want to come back in 3 months and then find that the stupid camera starts flickering or something like that, Right, here we go. We've got some tracks for you here. I've actually got the description on the tablet, so I haven't got to keep flicking back. Right, this one, apparently... Oh, it says at the bottom. It says at the bottom anyway. Disneyland Paris F1 circuit. There you go. That's the first one. Just got to make sure that when I... Oh yeah, that's okay. Just make sure I was scrolling in the right direction. So that's the Disney Paris F1. Second one is Athens for Formula E. Oh, I like that one. That's... Oh, blimey, they could do that in F1. I like that one. I like that little knobbly bit. That actually, is it just me? But... Is that Quasimodo? Look, bear with me, everyone. There's his head. There's Quasi's head. There's his legs. And he's bent over forwards. And there's his hunchback. Can you see it? Can you see it as well? There's his hunchback. Quasimodo with his hunchback. Hunchback of Notre Greece. Formula E circuit. There you go. And what's the other one? I'll let you guess what that is for. Oh, okay. I've got to guess this one. The Hookster ring. Oh, I like that. Yes, that's a favourite circuit of mine. That is. I like that. I like the definition at the bottom as well. Yes, very nice, very nice. And you've got to say that's a very long circuit, isn't it? Very long circuit. Yes, very long. Yes. I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to stop now before I get into trouble with YouTube. Yes. Anyway, thank you everyone. You have been awesome as always. I said at the start of the stream, but nobody was here, so I'll repeat it again. Thanks for all the support this year. I will be back next year, of course, for the new season in real life, and of course I'll be back making the gaming video as well. I'm glad everyone liked that Christmas special video. It's done very well in the view department. So yes, there will be more of videos like that up and coming. Yes. I have been asked by Mr. What's he called? Oh, I've forgotten his name now. Trophy widow, trophy wife, tourist trophy. What's his name? Trophy. Something trophy. You know the one I'm talking about. You know the one I'm talking about. He has requested that I play Formula 1 99 Monaco at night, 100%. So I'm in the process of testing that. I've downloaded DuckStation, which is the PlayStation 1 emulator, having a huge amount of problems, but it's very early days, so I should be able to get past it so that I can save it, because I'm not sitting down for 3 hours doing it all in one session. Those days are long gone, unfortunately. Long gone, but I shall see if I can get it working on the DuckStation. I mean, Mr. Ash on his channel is doing F1 99 through DuckStation, so if he can get it working, I'm sure I bloody well can't. But yeah, anyway, look out for that. That will be coming. That might actually be the replacement for the October, because we have done F1 98 now. It's done and dusted, so that may be the replacement for the Halloween special. Anyway, thank you everyone. I literally have got to go now. At least Sparks are still going strong. Yes. Happy New Year, all the best. Yeah, Happy New Year to you and to everyone else who's watching as well. All the best to the viewers. Of course, buy old git. First blue, give way to the car behind you when you can. No, we need F1 career change. No, we bloody well don't. Right, that's it. I have definitely got to go now. Thank you everyone for me and Mr. You know when I said at the start, a very quick stream, 1 hour and 8 minutes. But there you go. Thanks everybody for me and Mr. TB the Bear. I'm off to play some Monopoly in a couple of hours. If you're still awake from the new year, I don't think there's anyone. I'll say if the person isn't playing with us tonight, I will stream it, because yeah, it's content. I don't know why anybody would watch it, but it's content. But unfortunately, if he's in it tonight, I may not be able to, because as I say. Yes, we do. Lulu isn't winning next year to be. I agree with you. Anyway, that's it. I've definitely got to go now. I'm heading into going to be late territory. Thank you, everyone. You've been awesome as always, and I'll catch you again in a year's time. Yes. I love saying that. I'll catch you in a year. Catch you in a year, everyone. Wouldn't it be great if I signed off now and didn't come back for a year? I will catch you next year. Yes. Thanks, everyone. And good night. Bye-bye. I'm just about to hit disconnect, and I've got Stuff the Bear. Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Good night, everyone.